It's nibble time. Let's get into it. So this weekend, oldest girl left the lights on in the car, and so the battery died. And so, of course, we had to go through a lot of noise to finally get somebody to come out and jump her off and get her going again. And so with thinking about that, we're thinking about power. And then I just briefly saw somebody had posted on Facebook that after watching TV, they just realized that, they really have to believe in prayer with God. And again, it just reminded me of power. And then I thought about this scripture. Isaiah 59:1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save. And it also says that his ear is not dull that he cannot hear. And you're probably saying, well, what does that have to do with power? Because that lets you know that all power belongs to God. His hands can reach out and touch anything. His hand can control anything. He got the ultimate power. He's not like my daughter's battery where if you leave the light on, you're going to lose power. God ain't never losing power. Now, we can lose power if we don't stay connected to him. That's why it's important for us to stay connected to him, so we can always have access to that power. And this Daily Bread was talking about the Israelites. And you remember how the Israelites was out there and they wanted something to eat because they were tripping and talking about they were going to go back to Egypt so they can get the garlic and the onions. And so they wanted manna. So he had rained down manna. So they was getting manna. Manna, of course, is like, bread. So they were getting that. And so they said they wanted some meat. They started complaining because that's what we do. God done bless you with something. Now all of a sudden you done start complaining because for some reason your mind is short and you done forgot what he just did for you. So they complaining to Moses, we need meat. We want meat. And so in that time, it's impossible, right? You're thinking it's impossible. How in the world 2 million people are going to be fed meat? It ain't enough birds out here to butcher them many birds to feed somebody. But guess who got the power? Jesus, right? God got the power. So he said, this is what it said. God answered back to Moses, is there any limit to my power? He said, just because you don't see a way, Moses, doesn't mean that I don't have a way. All I have to do is shift a few things around and I can bring it to pass. And sure enough, in Numbers 11:31, God shifted the wind and brought quail in from the sea and caused them to fall into the camp. Notice they didn't even have to go out and hunt a fish. That's what he's telling you today, that he got all power. Even if it look impossible, even if you left your lights on and you drained the power, even if you hadn't stayed connected, God is telling you, I still got the power. Only thing I got to do is shift a few things around in your situation. Make that wind blow in your situation. Oh, all of a sudden you heal. All of a sudden you're debt free. All of a sudden the children come in. All of a sudden that marriage is healthy and whole. That's all God got to do is shift the wind, because he got all power in his hands. His hand ain't never too short that he can't save you. His ear is never too dull that he ain't heard your cry. I'm telling you right now, God got the power. Stay connected so you can have access to the power too. Listen, I love y'all. Stay in faith no matter what.